Who first told you to cover up? What if the truth is being bare in nature isn't shameful at all? It's healing, it reconnects you to your body and to the natural world. Welcome back to Hiking Without a Stitch. Get naked, be free, and be kind. I'll share my journey into naturism, stories from the trail, and conversations with others who have found freedom in the open air. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Hiking Without a Stitch. I'm John, your host, and today's guest is Chad. Many men grow up believing they need to hide their bodies and suppress their true selves. But what happens when you let go of all that shame? From childhood skinny dipping to nude hikes in the Ozarks, Chad shares how naturism has deepened his faith, strengthened his friendships, and helped him discover authentic brotherhood. Chad, welcome to the show. I'm really excited that you're here. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good to be here. Good to be here.
I've been really excited about this conversation. I really like your story, and I'm looking forward to sharing more about it with the listeners. Can you tell everyone just a little bit about yourself and kind of your background and where you're from?
Sure. I was born in southern Michigan. Um, I I had a family. I had three sisters growing up. I was the only boy. Born and raised in a very conservative Christian home. Went to the First Baptist Church of the town I lived in. Um, Twice on Sundays, once on Wednesdays. My all my extended family went to that church, so I knew all my cousins, um, all my aunts and uncles. They all went to that church. It was a very, very tight community. Um, from there, I went to Chicago, Illinois, to go to school, and that's where I met my wife. Um, we got married. We've been married for 35 years, and now I live in southern Missouri.
That's awesome. Were you always really active as a kid, like in the outdoors and running around,
Yes.
or?
I mean, yeah, I grew up in that time where, in the summer, mom shoved us out the door. We came in, I don't even remember coming in for lunch because lunch was served on the picnic table out back, and then you came in for dinner.
Yep.
When
Yep.
it's like we better not see you. Like,
Yeah.
and my family had the neighborhood in-ground pool,
Oh, wow.
so
Nice.
there was always just a treasure trove of kids swimming in our pool. Even when we
Hmm.
weren't there, like my mom and dad were the youth group sponsors, so that it was not uncommon for us to come home and have youth group kids swimming in our pool.
Oh, interesting.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we so we were the pool.
That's awesome. With your background being raised in like conservative, religious um, viewpoints, where did the nudity work in? Like, where did skinny dipping and
So
that come into?
that's so funny because I remember I'm trying to think. I was less than 10 years old. So I was somewhere between the ages of 5 and 10. Um, the church had a program for boys that was very similar to Boy Scouts,
Mm.
but it was a church, um, met at the church. And one summer we had a camp out, and went on a hike from camping. The the It was extremely hot that day, unprecedentedly hot. And so the leaders decided that they would take us boys over to one of the leaders' houses that had an in-ground pool,
Mm.
and they would let us swim. Well, we none of us were prepared to swim, and so they just let us swim naked. So there was probably, like, I don't know, 15 to 20 elementary school boys and the leaders all swimming naked. And
Oh, that's so interesting.
this was probably like maybe 73, 70, 70, somewhere between 73 and 78.
Hmm.
So it wasn't, and no one thought anything of it. So I think that's really my first really remembrance of skinny dipping.
Interesting.
And then from there, at my own pool, when I was in high school, whenever my friends and I were swimming and the our my sisters or none of the girls were around, we would not wear suits.
Yeah.
Or the suits would come off,
Yeah. Yeah.
it wasn't, yeah. And it wasn't it was, and again, I grew up in the time where in school, in gym class,
Yep.
and after every sport, not only did you shower, you had to shower, and the PE teacher or the coach was there making sure you showered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a big open shower room. It wasn't these cubicles. So
Yep.
so yeah, it was, I grew up in a time where it was very common and no shame.
Speaking, just jumping to the cubicles real quick, do you notice more changing cubicles in like fitness areas
Oh
to
yeah, oh
change?
yeah, and it makes me sad every time.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's a new um health men's club, and it's that just opened here in my town,
Mm.
and they advertised it and pushed it like it was going back to men's athletic clubs of yesteryear.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool, that's so awesome. So they have a sauna, but then every single shower room is a separate room. Not even a cubicle, but a separate. They have
No
like six
way.
bathrooms in there. They have six bathrooms in there that all have a sink, a toilet, a urinal, and a shower.
That makes
I'm
no
like,
sense, especially
that
because
makes
it's all
no
men.
sense. I know. And it makes no sense, like, financially either.
Yeah.
Like
Extra.
that's a huge extra pay and build out. Like, I just don't get it. And it makes me sad because there's so much when men get together, even intentionally or unintentionally, and are naked in each other in front of each other, there's so much healing that can take place,
Mm.
and so much shame and self awareness that drops, and just I think it's so healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of men, specifically today, are struggling just because we're in a time of social media and we're more connected than we ever have been, but people are more depressed and more lonely and
Yeah,
looking for opportunities to kind of change that.
yeah, and I think we it's just one more society has really said being a man is not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Talk with the phrase toxic masculinity, the feminization of the church, the feminization of education. You know, Unfortunately, there's been a huge generation of boys that have gotten um, the message either overtly or covertly that your masculinity is something to be ashamed of and something to hide.
Mm.
And they're so wrong. I mean, you can't be even further from the truth on that,
Yeah.
because masculinity is an amazing thing, and when it's honed and when it's uh used properly, masculinity can be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Used in the proper way.
Yeah.
For sure. What what have you seen kind of with men, just generally speaking, when you go out? What are some of the main points that they're clinging on to from nude hiking or spending time skinny dipping? Is there any self-awareness that happens?
I I've actually had people tell me
Hmm.
I'm okay. Like
Yep.
I've thought there was something wrong with me for so long, but in doing this, I found that I'm pretty normal and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not as far off psychologically as I thought I was.
Yep. That's awesome. So, jumping back to your story,
Mhm.
you grew up skinny dipping. How did you end up, you moved to the Ozarks? Was that for Work?
No, it was for my wife's work. Oh man, we were living in the greater Chicago area, really like downtown Chicago, at the northern end of Lincoln Park,
Hmm.
like in the thick of it, right? And
Yeah.
she comes home to me and says they want to transfer me to the Ozarks. And I was like, where? Yeah, I'm like, excuse me, where? Because I've been, I didn't grow up urban, but as soon as I graduated high school, I moved to Chicago, and yeah, I'm
Mm.
like, urban is my
Yeah.
deal. Um, in fact, now we live pretty city center, and in an urban environment as well. So yeah, it was quite the culture shock.
Yeah,
Um,
I can imagine.
to go from downtown Chicago to, the rolling hills and openness of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Um, but I love it now. I love the Ozarks. I mean, in fact, I'm barely home inside my house. If I have time off, I'm out exploring, um, just spending time in nature. I love it now.
Isn't that cool that you get to do that? I love that.
Go. Yeah, and there's so many places. I mean, we have one of the largest national forests right outside our town, Mark Twain National Forest, and then go down to Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, and you know, the Buffalo River area. It's just absolutely amazing.
That sounds awesome. When you moved to the Ozarks, we spoke in like pre-interview recording about
Hmm.
a book that you found that kind of led to
Oh
your
yeah,
experience of hiking. Like, do you want to take me? How did you find that book and how it
sure.
played out?
So the name of the book is Swimming Holes of the Ozarks, right? And I always had this romanticized idea of old-fashioned swimming holes and skinny dipping, probably brought by that amazing scene in A Room with a View.
A
If you know
room
the
with a
movie,
view.
you know the scene.
No,
Oh, best skinny dipping scene ever on film ever.
I'm gonna
There's
have to look it up.
yes, these three guys and the local vicar decide to go for a bathe, and it's in Victorian era, and
Oh,
they decide
that's
to go
funny.
for a bathe, right? And so they're totally just having a great time in the water, and one of the main characters' fiance and her parents come walking by. It is a great scene. It's a fantastic scene.
That's
Anyway, so
funny.
so I was like, knowing that there's remote places, I'm like, I know there's got to be great places to skinny dip here in natural water. And so I found this book, Swimming Holes of the Ozarks, and man, I started going and exploring and checking them off. And then it has a sister book called Waterfalls of the Ozarks.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, two great books. There's and many of them are remote. Many of them, you have to park and then hike a good ways back to find either the waterfall or the swimming hole,
Those are the best places.
which is, and I'm to do your job, which is what led me into naked hiking. Um,
Exactly.
um, a good friend of mine and I went out to go. He's actually a photographer. He went out to go. We went out to go find one of the waterfalls and swimming holes, and we got there, and I mean, it was. I don't remember, and it must have been a 5 to 8 mile hike back um, into this location. Um, and we get there, and I didn't tell him I was going to do this. I just stripped down and got in the water, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And so he stripped down and got in the water. Um, I put my clothes in my backpack um and then as we were swimming, it started to rain, just sprinkle a little bit, nothing like, oh, that's no big deal. And so we were there for a good hour swimming. He was taking pictures. He took this amazing picture of me. Everybody thinks it looks like the X-wing coming up from the swamp in Star Wars. I mean, it's just because it was foggy. It was really humid and foggy, and the rain and the
Oh,
all the
that's
green
cool.
lushness of the forest. It's a great photo. Um, and then so we were pretty much done, getting ready to go. It was still raining, and then it just started downpouring, like raining so hard, and it was like I thought well, it's stupid to put my clothes on and get them all wet.
Yep.
They're in my bag dry. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk to the car with my bag on my back and get dressed when I get to the car. And so it was a good 5, 8 mile hike back to the car, and we both did the whole thing just completely naked. And it was great. I'm like, this is amazing. This is just absolutely amazing to be hiking like this.
Oh, that's super cool.
So that was that was my initiation, my baptism, if you will, into naked hiking.
Yeah, did you after that first like naked hike, did you kind of go, "Oh man, I could go do more hikes in more spots that are like secluded," or how did that work?
Yeah, it was more. It wasn't so much naked hiking. It was more going to the holes to skinny dip.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that was
Gotcha.
more my focus. The naked hiking kind of came later. I did one where I had this book that I wanted to read, and I had set aside some time to go hike, and it was a spiritual book, and so I actually ended up hiking deep into the woods and finding this amazing pedestal rock that I climbed up on. And like, as I was reading it, I just, heard God telling me, you just need to get naked before me.
Mm,
And I'm like, okay, that sounds amazing.
yeah.
um, and what the book was saying about creation and who we are as a created being and created in his likeness, just was like, yeah, that's exactly why I needed to get naked and spend time in
Mm,
this book and spend some time in prayer. And
mm-hmm.
so it was that really was like, man, this is how we were meant to be in creation. Like
Yep.
it was um so it's really a good way for me, and I even use it now on my solo naked hikes as a good way just to commune and pray and just really reflect on creation and the creator and where he has brought me through life and where I'm at now, and um just a good spiritual practice for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Did a lot of people, might have gone on that nude hike from the skinny dipping spot back to the truck and kind of moved on from it like, "Oh, well, I checked a box, I got naked, I skinny dipped."
Right?
What about those experiences like skinny dipping keeps pulling you back and being naked in nature? What pulls you back and keeps you like the spirituality of it, the bonding with nature? Like, can you just list a couple of things for me?
I would say those are the two biggest
Okay.
things. And then when if I happen to have a friend with me that is participating, the bonding there that happens.
Mm,
I have a really good friend that um I think we've probably swam naked more than we have swam clothed. And
that's
we swim a
awesome.
lot. And we swim a
That's
lot.
awesome.
I mean, and he's one of my closest friends. Like literally my closest friend. And
I love that.
and um yeah, he's a good guy.
That's super cool. At what point did you like realize on your journey that other people were interested in doing this too and going and experience skinny dipping and being out in nature with you?
Um uh, through a Christian Facebook men's group.
Oh,
Cause
interesting.
yeah, I mean, I was vulnerable one time and said, this is what I do. And then we actually had several guys um that we planned a camping trip with, and
Nice.
I took them to my favorite swimming hole. Um, and there was probably 6 of us on that trip. Um, yeah, it's a great swimming hole.
I was just curious. You were taking them to your favorite swimming hole. Was there any fear of like, I guess people would call it hot spotting, where you're sharing like your really good go-to spot with other people, and then they come up and ruin it or whatever.
Yes, yes. In fact, I kind of somebody else just posted a picture of that spot on a hiking on an Arkansas hiking um
Mm,
page, and I was like, let's keep it a secret.
yeah,
And he was like, too late, you know? I'm like, dude, why would you do that? Like,
yeah.
um, and it's funny because the swimming hole, there is a trail that runs along the Buffalo River,
Mm,
which is where the swimming hole is at. And right about 4 miles before you get to the swimming hole, there's a campground with waterfalls and another popular swimming hole. So literally, most people who are even doing a through hike or even a day hike, they will stop at that campground and
mm,
use that swimming hole and waterfalls. And then, like you had 5 miles west from there, and if you don't know where it is down a bluff. Like the swimming hole is down a bluff. You can't see it from the trail. You kind of
that's
have to
awesome.
know where the turnoff is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like when you're in the water, you can hear people hiking up on the trail,
Oh,
and
interesting.
they have no idea that you're down there. Like you
Yeah.
cannot see this hole at all. So and it's really kind of hidden. And oh, the other cool thing about that is, do you know what a slot canyon is? Do you
Oh
have
yeah.
slot canyons out there?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. We
so
got
the
slot
only way
canyons.
to the only way to get into the swimming hole is to get in the creek and ride the slot canyon down into the creek
Oh,
or
that's
into the hole.
cool.
So
That's
like
cool.
like it's really not a popular place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, don't tell people, don't
Yeah.
publish that on Facebook
Yeah.
where it
Yeah.
is.
Yep. That's one of the things I try to be really careful about is not oversharing spots that aren't already shared. Like there's like nude beaches around here where it's
Yeah,
everyone and their grandma knows that there's nude people there. But
right.
there's certain canyons and certain spots where it's like, I don't think that needs to be shared with anyone.
Right. They're just too good. I'll share them with
yeah,
my closest friends and
yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I shared it
yeah.
with Robert when he came down, but it's like I can't stand the thought of people coming in and throwing
Yeah.
garbage or graffiti. We just recently here in Arizona had someone graffiti a Native American like monument, um, pictographs or I think that's what they're called. They were
Yeah.
like scratching it. So stuff like that just really I
Yeah.
can't stand
That's
people being disrespectful.
yeah. I can't even say Karens at all.
yeah.
Like stack. I don't want to see your stacked rocks. Knock them down.
Yeah. Exactly.
To me, it's still natural. I mean, it still shows that a human was here.
Yep.
It still it goes against the leave no trace.
Yeah.
Stop stacking rocks. Please don't stack rocks. And I knock them down every time I see
Yeah.
them.
It changes it
It
changes
changes
the
the
overall experience because you
right,
come around a corner and you're like, wow, I'm in some place that no one else has ever been for a while. And you come around and there's a rock careen there and you're like,
yeah,
oh, no, there's
no,
just,
yeah,
they're
right.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, you might as well take a spray paint and paint something.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Granted, it's being used
off.
used with natural stuff, but yeah, just don't do that.
Right.
Um, so do you organize your own like groups when you go out? Just
I
friends or?
haven't, I haven't in a long time. Well, yeah, we do actually. I do have it one organized kind of thing. We have a monthly on the full moon. I'm into rucking for fitness.
Oh,
And
awesome.
so we do a full moon ruck and dip
Oh,
every month
cool.
on the full moon. And it didn't, when I organized it, it was totally like we're going to ruck and then we're going to get in the lake because it'll be hot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know who did it first, but the very first one we met at, we were walking towards the lake, towards the water, and someone took off their shorts and went in full moon. And it
Oh,
was like,
interesting.
oh, all right, yes, that's okay, cool, let's
We're
do
doing this.
it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I mean, so the full moon ruck and dips have kind of taken on a double meaning.
That's so awesome. Do you, For the rucks, like how much weight are you carrying when you're rucking?
I'm carrying anywhere from 35 to 45.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome. It's a good pack. Um,
yeah, it's fun.
how long have you been doing that?
You know what? That's funny you asked that because I was just trying to figure that out earlier today. Like how when did I get my daughter gave me a weighted vest? Um, gosh, I want to say maybe COVID time. Maybe 5 years, 6 years.
Gotcha.
Um, and I rock every day. Um,
Oh,
and
that's
then
awesome, man.
I'm in a third I we have a Thursday night rucking group that's a social ruck. It's kids, dogs, families. It's pretty fun.
Oh,
And
that's so
then
cool.
I've done some competitive rucking as well. Um, um, and then we have the monthly rucking tips.
That sounds really fun. Um, what
And
kind of
yes,
like?
I have rucked naked.
Oh, that's awesome.
For inquiring minds who need to know, I have rucked naked.
What when you hike with other people, what kind of conversations happen that don't typically happen in, I guess, clothes settings or other
Mm.
settings?
You know, and maybe because of me and the kind of and the people, a couple of the other guys that I we hike with, it's a lot of who we are as God's created, who we were created to be. It's a lot of seems to be a lot of spiritual talk, where we're at spiritually, what we're struggling with spiritually. Um, One of the guys that rucks and dips with us, and um um uh, have spent a lot of naked time with, has a website called Aching for Eden, Aching for Eden. That's hard to say. That it's about him, his journey, and his wife's journey of how they got into naturism
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
and how that has affected their faith. He has 3 books written out now. Um,
Very
his
cool.
his naturist name is Phil Oak.
Phil
Um,
Oak. Okay. I'll
Phil
throw him in
Oak.
the link at
Yeah.
in the show notes.
Yeah. And aching for Eden. Um, so I think too because of him, and he's pretty loud voice in the Christian natures circles. So yeah, it kind of tends to go with that.
How long have you been a part of the Christian Naturists?
Probably about 3 or 4 years now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How did your like faith and like naturism through that Facebook group? Is that how you found the Christian Naturists or
I don't even know how I found it. It's one of those things, the rabbit holes you go down on the
yeah,
internet, and then and I don't, yeah, I literally don't know how. I'm probably from a couple mutual friends, and
gotcha.
really and it could have been from the organization I was a part of called the Mankind Project.
Mm,
Um, I think I might have met a couple of the guys that are crossed over from those circles. It's amazing how, once you get into men's work and once you get into like spiritual work, there's a lot of circles that cross over,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Interesting. What how's naturism kind of like influenced your relationship with God or changed? Has your nudity changed your relationship with God or your
I don't think
faith?
so. I don't think
Okay.
it's changed. I think it's enhanced it.
I guess that's the word I was looking for.
I don't think
Deepened.
changed. I don't think it's changed. I think it's
Okay, so it's
enhanced.
deepened or
Yeah.
enhanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I and I guess let's go back all the way to Chicago and the Bible school I was at. The first like um what I want to say dive into it was there was this guy on my dorm floor, which I was on the 7th floor, and it was a men's dorm. We would take the elevator up. By the time we were to floor 7, he was completely naked and stayed that way until he was leaving the floor.
Oh,
And this
interesting.
was at a Bible college. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, are you kidding me? And so that was, yeah.
Well, it's very interesting to me because my upbringing, I was raised in a non-denominational church
Hmm.
from a very young age. They taught a lot of purity culture, so I got
Right.
like different messaging from the church about nudity and the body. So it's really interesting to me that there's a Christian naturist organization, and like, is there any, I don't know, misconceptions or assumptions that people make about Christians in naturism that you kind of see commonly that come up?
Mm, not that I've seen.
Okay.
A lot of the common thread, although this is not my story, but a lot of the common thread, at least with the men that I've known, is that they've actually used, God has used naturism and nudity to break porn addiction
Yep. Yep.
because, um, you know, what is hidden is what is wanted,
Yeah.
and so when it's not hidden, when the body isn't hidden, then there's no mystery there.
Yeah.
And it diffuses the need for lust and the
Yeah.
need for desire because you're like, yeah, whatever, and
Yeah, oh,
and
exactly.
I totally understand that because I've been a pastry chef and I've been in food service all my life, and I can, uh, at the end of the day I can throw trays and trays of pastries away and people are like, oh my God, how do you not how do you do that? I'm like, yeah, it's just a product for me, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no meaning to, it's not like
Yep.
I just lust after those pastries because it's, and I think a lot of guys that struggle with lust and porn, once they get into and are
Mm.
comfortable, they're like, really diffuses that, um, and makes it normal. It makes it,
Hmm.
it's just what is what it is.
Yeah. It becomes nudity becomes. I think there's the quote: "Nudity becomes insignificant when it's seen regularly or
Right,
whatever they
right.
use." But it's really true how instead of sticking nudity up on this pedestal by stripping down and interacting with it in a non-sexual way, it really does diffuse sexuality and
Yeah,
like porn, the draw
100%.
to porn, like 100%.
One,
And I would say that for
100%.
myself as well.
Yeah.
So it's just wild that that's one of the things that comes from stripping off and
Yeah.
really, facing
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
it really seems counterintuitive, but it's completely not.
yeah, yeah, no kidding. Um, why do you think being seen and accepted by people around you or by other men can be such like a powerful experience for people?
I think because, like I said earlier, I think it's because we get all these messages and internal, not only do we get the messages or we take on those messages, but I know for
Mm,
myself, I internalize I
yeah.
internalize them saying there is something wrong with me. There's something inherently wrong with me.
Mm,
I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. So when I am seen or when I am known in my fullness, I get a counter message that you are accepted
mm,
just as you are,
yeah.
and you are good and worthy.
Yep. Yep. It's interesting how when we try and hide ourselves and use masks and insecurities, that by taking all that away, we become a more purified version of who we were actually meant to be, not
Oh yeah,
what we think society's telling us to be
yeah.
and what we think we're supposed to be.
It goes back to God's original question to Eve: Who told you you were naked?
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
why do you even know that?
Yeah. So these experiences, what does like brotherhood look like to you? Now after years of experiencing this and
Yeah,
spending time with people.
that is a great question. Because so growing up without brothers, it's something that I searched for and really just needed, um all growing up. Um and for the first part of my life and for very long time, the brotherhood, my need for brotherhood came across as very needy,
Mm.
very I can't think of the word. Um, I would latch on to one close friend, and
Mm.
that was it. Um, and it, only he could fill that need. Like that was it.
Mhm.
No one else, you know. And if he didn't speak to me, I thought, oh no, he's mad at me. You know, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not worthy anymore. I'm not
Yeah.
acceptable anymore. You know, um, and as I've grown and matured and have discovered a band of brothers, although I
Mm.
hate that term.
Is that
As I
because your military background?
well, I think it's just overused.
Overuse?
Yeah, I just overuse um um as I've gotten this group of close friends that are really considered brothers. I know that, if someone of if one of those guys has gone through his stuff and needs 3, 4, 5 days a week or whatever of disconnecting, that's not a reflection of me. That's not a
Mm.
reflection of my value to him.
Gotcha.
That is a reflection. That is his need and his stuff, not mine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so and that I know I've gotten that through men's work and through just working and maturing.
Mhm.
Um, so
That you
codependent.
just
Codependent, that's the word I was looking
codependent.
for.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, my original, I mean my very early on, like high school, college years, my friendships and need for brotherhood became very codependent
Mm.
on that person. Like to the point it was detrimental and ruined the friendship.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally understand that. I share that with you actually hearing that. That's how I was in like growing up in high school. I would latch on to one person. I'm like, you are my
Mhm.
everything. I can't let go of you.
Right, right.
And eventually it did. It ended up pushing us apart because of that.
Yeah,
And I had to kind of,
yeah.
go through that and learn that lesson.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's a hard lesson. I mean, it took me a long time. It took me, I
yeah.
mean, a long time to learn it. And you know what? And I think it hasn't been until recently. And I don't want to, I don't know because I'm just thinking about it, the correlation between naturism and those friends, if there's a correlation there or
Mm-hmm.
not. But it seems like that looking back, the timing, my learning to not be codependent on one person and being and 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 being naked with people
Mm-hmm.
kind of coincided.
Interesting.
Might be a coincidence, might not be. I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Yeah. That's an interesting, like how it lines up on the timeline though.
Yeah, yeah.
For someone like listening right now who feels kind of curious but nervous, where should they start and kind of expect emotionally for their first experience stripping naked and going to either a swimming hole or just out in nature?
Just out in nature.
Yeah.
I would say do it in a safe space alone, or do it with someone you trust.
Yeah.
You know, and do it at night.
Yeah.
Take down as many barriers as you want. For me, one of the things that made me really end up being comfortable with my body was was having to shower at the Y at a day on a daily basis
Mm-hmm.
before work, seeing the same people.
Yes.
Because I was there at the same time working out as the same people that were working out. Like every day we
Mm-hmm.
were, and I fortunately was going to a Y that had open showers at the time. So, and not that I thought anything about it at the time, but over time you go from seeing those men every day to saying hi, to saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, good morning. How was your workout?" and then getting to know them and then
Yeah.
actually having conversations with them that you just happen to be naked when that
Yes.
conversation happening, you know.
Yep.
Um, and that is a good, I think that's a good healthy progression,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, going back to the original question, it saddens me that that is being taken away from our societies.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see that play out, in the next couple years or generations where people, the pendulum swinging one way and it'll start to shift back the other way.
Shift
But
back away, yeah.
yeah, it's just an interesting progression to see. Um, you had mentioned, I wanted to touch on them. You had mentioned being part of men's,
The Mankind Project.
the Mankind Project. Yes,
Mankind
thank
Project.
you.
Mhm.
Do you
Yeah.
want to tell me a little bit about that and how you got involved in that?
Yes. So the Mankind Project is an organization that kind of speaks at two phases of men, or two angles of men. One is to initiate men into the circle of
Mm,
manliness and into the circle of men. Um, other societies do real or other societies do really, really well. Um, taking their boys at the age of anywhere from 11 to 16, giving them a quest.
mm,
Once that quest is completed, saying, "You are now a man, and this is
mm,
what it means to be a man."
yeah.
We unfortunately are really bad at that.
Yep.
Like really bad. The closest thing we have to it is is sports or gangs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
gangs do it really well. Gangs probably do it the best.
Yeah.
Athletic
Yeah.
teams do it good as well. Fraternities can do it well. I mean, fraternities are more aren't so much as you're a man. Um, so the Mankind Project seeks to do that as well. Um, and then the other side of it is to um, take you through your own hero's journey,
Mm,
where um, the hero's journey is a literary device that has been used through the ages, where um, someone steps up and says, "Yes, I will take on that quest. I will go
mm,
slay the dragon and save the princess."
mm-hmm.
Um, and in that quest, in that journey, he usually goes and has to fight something either internally or externally, and goes way deep down into the darkness,
Yeah.
and in that darkness, he finds something out about him that's very critical about how he is wired and what his strengths and weaknesses are. And when he comes back up out of that dark place, he's a much better man.
Yeah.
And he has slayed the dragon or saved the princess and is the hero and is celebrated as the hero.
Yeah.
You know, so Mankind Project takes you on your own personal hero journey through that.
That's awesome.
So Mankind Project holds some weekends called the New Warrior Project, Adventure Weekend, and in that weekend, several places there is nudity involved for many of the reasons that we have talked about here in you know um and for a lot of the men it's just a challenge. For a lot of men, it's the first time they've ever been naked in front of another man,
Interesting.
especially now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When kids don't change in schools anymore, that that's been going for a while. And yeah, it's very enlightening. It's
That's so
it's
interesting. What does like one of these, I don't know if I should call it a program, events,
Yeah.
what would one of these programs kind of look like? So I'm showing up, I sign up and I go
See,
like
that's the
day
brilliant part of it, because the less you know about the weekend, the more
oh,
effective it is.
okay, I see how it works. I gotcha,
because
gotcha.
because if you knew everything that went on the weekend, you're not like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that.
Gotcha, gotcha.
You know what I mean? But every step along the way prepares you to the point so that so that
Understood.
you're ready for what is to come down the road. But when you
Gotcha.
hear it at the beginning, you're like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Oh,
But by
that's
the time
funny.
you get there, you're like, okay, you
Oh, that
know.
sounds awesome. I love that. So we've talked about freedom, vulnerability, brotherhood, faith, and what kind of happens when we stop hiding ourselves. Before wrapping up, I wanted to ask you, like, what would you tell the version of yourself before ever getting into this? Like your younger version. Is there
Yeah,
any advice you'd give to them?
yeah, I would say, you know what? You are created exactly how you're supposed to be. You don't need to compare yourself to that guy or that guy or that man
Mm.
because you are exactly the man you were created to be, both
Mm.
physically, emotionally, spiritually. You are who you were created to be, and you have good things to give, and you will be accepted as you
Mm. I think a lot more people need to hear that.
are.
I think a lot more people need to hear that. Um, it would help a lot of people if they could
Oh yeah.
kind of absorb that messaging. What is there anything that we didn't talk about that you would like to cover, or any points that we didn't touch on?
I, man, I don't think so.
All right.
Except when you come to the Ozarks.
Oh, I would love to come to the Ozarks. You just shoot me a message. What's the closest airport I need to fly into, and I will make it happen. That
Too
sounds
easy.
so awesome.
Too easy. And I actually have a really good friend in that lives in Gilbert,
Oh, right on.
and yeah, and like he's been trying to get me to get out there, and
Well,
I would love.
back at you if you ever come to Arizona. I would love to meet up and go on some hikes and hang out.
Yeah. Oh, definitely,
It would be really
definitely.
cool. Well, cool. Thank you for coming on, and I really appreciate your time and you being authentic and sharing your story. It's really awesome. When
Oh,
I
you're
think we
welcome.
need more people that are a good example of what nude recreation and naturism really is. So yeah, thank you for being that for everyone.
You're welcome. Thank
Cool.
you for
Well,
this podcast. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every episode.
thank you. I appreciate that. I hope people are getting a lot out of it.
Yeah, and I have a whole slew of people that you could probably have on.
Perfect. Send them my way. Send them my way.
my I joke saying, and not really, but I joke saying that my spiritual gift is connectedness and connecting people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like if you need something, I know a guy or I know a
Yeah,
lady. I know
you
someone
got
that can
you got the
that
gift.
like yeah, like I know somebody. Let me connect you with them. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
crazy.
awesome. Yeah, if anyone comes to mind that you're like, oh, they'd
Oh,
be great.
there's
Yeah,
like
shoot.
at least
Oh
two that
yeah,
I know that would be great
yeah. Send them
guests
my
for
way.
you.
That'd be super
Sure
cool.
will. Yep. And
Thank you
now
so
that I'm
much.
on it, I can send them the episode and say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
here, he's not crazy.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a weirdo.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you, Chad. Take care.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Chad, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story and your experiences and your perspective. I think this conversation reminds us that nude hiking isn't just about taking off your clothes, it's about letting go of the fears and embracing authenticity, building genuine friendships, and finding the freedom to simply be yourself. I also really appreciate your willingness to talk about your faith, community, and the importance of creating spaces where men can show up honestly and support one another. I know that's going to resonate with a lot of listeners, so thank you again for being here. And to everyone else listening, thank you for spending part of your day with us. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed or leave a review and share it with someone who might enjoy the conversation. Until next time, get naked, be free, and be kind. See ya.